for entrepreneurs that are starting up, get your product in the market as quickly as possible. Don't try and perfect it. Like I said, the first version of Chommie, we spent 6 months on it, launched, no one came. Chommie Bites, we spent 3 weeks on it, launched, and then the first week we had orders already. So get your product out there quickly as possible. That's the only way you can really learn. The market does what the market does.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Sessions, a video podcast brought to you by Pro Studio, where we discuss an entrepreneur's business life, and while we edit, some social media as well.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Sessions with me, KP Illist, brought to you by Pro Studios and powered by Now Clift Water. Now, as usual, I am your host with the most, and my guest with the rest today is a multifaceted dude, as I always have. He is an international model, a marketing communications graduate, and a CEO of one of Namibia's fastest growing food delivery companies, Chommie Bites. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, if I had an applause button, I would press it. Mr. CJ Dumeni.
Thanks for having me, bro. I'm really excited. This is really cool. Like, you guys are doing a good job with this podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your CEO day.
Hey, man, it is what it is.
So let's just dive into it. Aside from being a CEO and obviously someone who is active on social media, tell me, who is CJ Dumeni? What is the one thing you do to escape from all of it?
That's a tough question, because I ask myself that as well. But yeah, because the thing is, I love my work so much. I love doing what I do. So that tends to be all that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, I love marketing. I would say a marketer. Huge F1 fan. Huge F1 fan. Huge watches fan. You and I can speak about watches for like 2 days straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm just like an outgoing person, family person. But yeah, like a lot of my world right now is structured around the business and
building a company.
I think you have to focus on it for at least 2 years and like be obsessed with it at least for for at least that long. Yeah.
Definite. Okay, and was it always the same? Growing up, did you always have the same aspiration, or was it like pilot, firefighter, police officer, and then eventually just?
I think when I was really young, I wanted to be a scientist. Weird, but I think I like the idea of the way things work, like the processes that go into place in order to make things work. So I really love like physics, really love like maths, because it's always like a process.
Hate math.
I love math because it's a process that it's like a cause and effect kind of thing. I hated biology because it felt like it was just like, that's a leg. You just need to know it's a leg. And, geography also. That's that,
That's a rock.
I like things that have like functions to it. So that's why I love F1 and whatever. Anyway, so I wanted to be a scientist. Then I was like, scientists stay in the lab for like 30 hours straight, don't see people. So I need something a bit more had to do with people. Then after high school, I was thinking about what I wanted to study. I knew something to do with business, but I love creative side. I wanted like a creative, fun side of business. So then, I came across advertising and marketing, and I was like, this is my spiel. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's what I want to do. And then then things just went from there.
Okay, now obviously everyone somewhere in their journey has to do something weird.
Yeah.
So for you, what was an odd job, or what was the one job you did or two that you knew this definitely has nothing to do with where I'm going in life? I'm just doing this like right now. I gotta put something in the pocket. So I'm just doing this right now. What was the one? Because everyone's had a job, but what was the one where you were like, this is definitely not it. I'm definitely not
the
being
hustle,
this.
The side hustle.
Yeah, there you go.
I think high school I worked at a pizza place for a while.
James
Pizza.
Yeah, James Pizza. Yeah.
I was a pizza guy in the front. And then also when I was studying in Cape Town, I was also like doing promos, like like those promo girls.
Oh, you were a promo girl?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I wasn't a promo girl, but I was one of those guys promoting cigarettes and stuff. Like, what do you like? Marlboro, Gold, whatever. I had to study like, bro, you have to know everything. Study
about the product and stuff like that.
Yeah, like how many grams of tobacco it has and what and all that stuff. Yeah, I did that for a minute and I was like, less.
So you knew that one. So if you had to pick between one of the two, which one, if you had to go back, would you go back to pizza or promo girl?
I think pizza. Man. Nah, I'm not going to be a promo girl. I'm good.
No, you good.
Yeah.
Now, everybody throughout, everybody's had that time. Obviously, I was in school as well, and everybody's had that time where, hey, it gets a bit difficult. Just getting up in the morning to go to class or something like that. And also through the journey of being an entrepreneur, it's not always. Actually, it's almost never easy. To be honest, it's kind of just the love that keeps you going. Yeah. But when you were going throughout school and the earlier part of the journey, what was the one thing that kind of kept you, waking up in the morning? Yeah. Even on mornings that you didn't want to. What was that thing that just kind of drove you?
I think, and this is the tricky part, because I think for entrepreneurs, people think that the work is hard. It's really hard. It's a lot of work and whatever. But I think for like natural born entrepreneurs, that's the easy part. That's the part where you want to be in. You want to show up. You want to go and get it. So for me, the things that are hard to do are the things outside of like being an entrepreneur. The things like making sure like I stay in touch with my family, kind of thing. Making sure my relationships are intact. That kind of stuff. That's the stuff that's hard, because that's the stuff that feels different from my natural pool of like how I do things. So I think when it's a tough day or whatever, the saving grace for me is being able to have a meeting, do some work, whatever. That's what I like. That's generally what I enjoy doing, So that's my escape. But that can also be a problem because you can't work all the time.
True say.
So, but I think overall motivation is just, I think I know where I want to go. And I think I also have a very good support structure in terms of friends.
Family,
my friends and family, homies, whatever, hit you up and be like, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, let's take a break. Let's do this, Like, nah, don't worry. This is going to be good or whatever. But I think having a support structure helps with that. But like I said, it's weird and it's hard to say, but I think being an entrepreneur, the entrepreneur part of it, I honestly believe of a natural born entrepreneur is the easy part. Okay. It comes easy for me. It comes easy for me to try and wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to hustle and have my meetings. That's the easy part of my day. Everything, but the thing is, you can't do that alone. You have to do everything else.
Exactly.
So everything else is the hard part for me.
So being an entrepreneur is easy. Being a functioning human being
is hard. Is hard. I think that's why they say it's hard, because it gets lonely. It gets whatever. That stuff is the hard stuff. But if you are really like, if you're in love with the process, waking up and doing the work, whatever, that's fun. That's the easy part for me.
Okay, cool. That's a really different insight from what we're normally used to.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's quite hard to not hard to speak about it, but I don't think anyone shares in that type of way, because everyone says you have to work hard, you have to hustle, which is true. But I think when people ask me like, what's the hardest part about your job or like what you do, it's everything around it. It's not
the work itself.
It's not the work itself. That's what I love. So that doesn't feel like work,
Doesn't feel difficult. Yeah.
So
okay. Now, obviously, with
my coffee.
Yeah, have your coffee. Came in for coffee. Didn't even come for the podcast. So obviously, a lot of people go through school and stuff for the sole reason that some people are told you have to do it. Other people actually want to go study. Yeah. So do you think your degree helped you with your business now? Yeah. Or was it something that you just did like so many others and just put on the shelf and just like, it's there in case my parents ask about it? There it is.
In the shelf.
Yeah. Do you think, was it more I'm studying so that I can do my business? Yeah. Or was it I'm studying so that I can just have a degree, what people call a safety net, which really doesn't exist?
To be honest, bro, I knew why I wanted to study. And why I wanted to study was two main reasons. I wanted the information. The degree didn't mean much to me. And until now, I still don't know. It's somewhere in my house. I haven't opened it since. Most of the jobs that I got after that, I didn't need it. So what I really wanted was the information. I really liked marketing, and I knew that AAA was really good. So I wanted the information just for me so I can understand how it works. And then two was the people. I knew if I went to the best marketing school in Africa, from my class, probably in 5 years, whatever, or have the CMOs of like majority of the companies in Africa
in your network,
will be in my network. So that's why I went. I knew almost everyone at campus. I was that guy who was like, in my class, even like the people that no one wanted to talk to, I was making sure I was chatting with them. The smart people, smart girls were like getting 90 or on tests, whatever. Who everyone sort of hated because we were just killing it. I was always just good with them. Like genuinely, a lot of people in my university knew me, and I was just like, you know me, I'm just that person in general. But that's why I went. I genuinely think the experience of university and the information is the asset. I don't think the degree is, because it hit me as soon as I got my degree. Right after I got my degree, I was like, a day later, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, cool. Now what? Because I mean, if you're planning something for 3 years, imagine you're hyping up something for 3 years. Yo, when I get this paper, it's lit. You know, these jobs are gonna come flying at me. And then you get the paper and you party the one night. You're like, yo, you celebrate. Then after that, it's like, now what? You know,
back to
reality.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I was lucky enough that I enjoyed the entire process. From year 1 to year 2, you have to be there to enjoy the process. And, and you have to have your reasons for that. So I left with what I wanted to leave with. The information, number one.
The network.
Yeah, and the information, which is like being able to execute high-level marketing stuff. Really being able to do strategy and all that kind of stuff. And number 2, I think the most important is the network. Everything good in my life has come from my network. Nothing from my like own personal effort. Everything like really amazing. If you look at everything that's happened, really like top tier stuff in my life, it's come from people. People like saying, yo, CJ, you reach out to CJ, whatever.
So really the degree was kind of just something that happened along with the journey.
Yes, literally.
Here you go. This just proves you went on the journry.
Yeah, literally. I don't think I'm gonna need it. People always ask like if I'm gonna like study again or whatever. I honestly don't think so. I think you learned a lot more of being just in the market. I think that's advice that I always give to students as well. Basically, if you're in university or doing anything, the only way you'll be able to really understand what's happening in the market is to get close to the market.
Of course.
And you get close to the market by working on products that are actually in the market or dealing with a company that actually sells products, you know? So, you know me, I was always, while I was in uni, side hustles on the side hustles. I was always doing this, working with a jewelry company, doing this, doing that, doing that. I was always as close to the market as possible.
It's like groundwork.
It's like groundwork. That's the only way you'll find out. It's a market, I describe the market as like this big monster that does whatever it wants. So you can't predict it. But the more time you spend close to it, the more you can understand, okay, cool, if I do this, the market does this.
That's that cause and effect.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're coming out of university and you haven't touched any sort of real life project and you think you're a marketer or whatever, an entrepreneur, whatever, you're going to launch a product immediately and everyone's going to love it, you're being ridiculous. It's just not going to happen. Our first product that we launched with Chommie, no one came. We worked on it for 6 months, put it out, absolutely no one came. But then from experience, pivoting, and then now we got where we're at now.
Sweet. Now, how long did you want to go on this entrepreneurial journey? How long was it like, yes, this is what I want to do? Or was it first job, and then you realize, now I want to be on my own? Or was that always the end goal? And was that since university? Or since before? Or was that after the scientist's dream died? Did the entrepreneur dream wake up? Or?
I think since day one, I always thought of myself having my own company. My whole dream was always to have
even as a scientist, to have your own lab.
I think so. But I think it's because of my parents, bro. Like, we grew, obviously, both my parents are entrepreneurs, never working like jobs or whatever, always running their own businesses. So for me, that was just the way it seemed. And I guess, but I think I'm genuinely a natural, like, born. It's hard to say, but I think I'm a genuinely natural born entrepreneur.
Like, I wanted to say it.
I wanted that space, and I think the jobs that I got before that was like me chickening out.
Oh, okay.
Chickening out on the real dream.
Sometimes it's difficult. You need to confront what you actually want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
But so let me ask you, what was the vision of the company? What is the vision of the company? Has that changed from when you started it to right now?
Not actually. It's actually sort of gone around almost full circle. So the idea behind Chommie was Chommie Technology is the holding company. And what we wanted to do is create products that make African life simpler in general, like as our ethos, right? The first version of Chommie was a platform where you could when it's launched in Stellenbosch, where you could hire a student to do an off task for you. You know? Hire a student to
Cut your grass.
Hire a student to babysit. Hire a student to deliver a package or whatever. Get a Chommie. That's where the idea is.
Okay,
hire
cool.
a Chommie to do ABCD. So we worked on that for 6 months. Man, hustling. We think it was going to be big. We built it with a Facebook Messenger bot. Launched it. Absolutely no one came. Not a single task was hired through Chommies, but we built it wrong. We were focusing on the Chommies and not on the customers.
Yeah.
That's what we realized.
Okay.
So then we pivoted. Then later, then I did some jobs, worked for a couple of companies, came back to Namibia, and then I realized that what we've built was almost perfect for a food delivery system. Or a food ordering kind of platform. We had a conversation, brought it to some friends. Lucky enough, I had friends who were like, "Yeah, go for it." So the vision of Chommie, that's how Chommie Bites came. Sorry, Then, so 1 year of running Chommie Bites, which is basically now a food delivery app. But the whole vision of Chommie is now sort of pivoted sort of back to a holistic sort of last mile / same day delivery type of service, right? So what we do is we source people exactly the same way, freelancers, people with vehicles, people with all different types of resources. We source them, put them into our network, and then individuals come hire them to deliver a package or do ABCD. And now we're pivoting towards more e-commerce stores, getting e-commerce stores to do same day delivery. So the company is basically based on that, which is a high level same day delivery execution. And I think that is massive for e-commerce. I think that's gonna really change a lot of businesses because, as we know, in e-commerce in Namibia, people don't trust shopping online.
Not too much.
People don't really want to do that, but because there's so many barriers. Number one, paying is sometimes complicated. And also that you pay for something and then you have to wait 3-4 days for it to come. Even if the online store is probably within the area, you know?
You have to still wait. For
So
some odd reason.
The execution of same-day delivery will really, really bump the trust levels up at least by half. Because I can pay for something today online and it comes today. That's a completely different story.
Yeah, even the trust is different. The trust is different. Those 3-4 days make you wonder, hey, where's my money actually gone?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
That's cool. Now, did you feel a huge difference running the business in South Africa versus running the business here?
Yeah, bro. Jeez.
Yeah?
Jeez. In SA, when I was working in Joburg, I was firing on all cylinders, bro. Joburg is a high energy place.
I've heard.
Bro, it's because I was still working for L'Oreal. But I was running Chommie on the side. Bro, wake up 5 o'clock, read a book, 6:30 I'm in the gym, get ready, make breakfast, go to work at 9. From 9 to 5 I'm killing it at L'Oreal. 5 o'clock I'm stay at the office, have calls for Chommie, sorting out this, putting that together, back home at like maybe 7:30, 8.
Go on a date.
Nah, not even, bro. Not even. Back home at 8, make dinner, have a last call, do a little bit of work or relax or something like that. 11:30, sleep, back in it. I was high level.
Energy of Joburg.
Energy
was kind of, you were kind of feeding off of the energy of the city.
Come here. Oh. Windhoek is slow, my guy.
It is.
It's honestly very slow. Like, to get something started, you have to drag. It's like you're dragging your feet, dragging people.
Yeah.
The energy is just not the same. And I've tried to replicate that sort of lifestyle here. It just doesn't work. So I had to adjust. I'm definitely a bit more productive now, but I'm not hitting the same levels of productivity
that you're hitting.
I think it's just the environment. The environment it's not conducive to that, you know?
Oh, that was actually my next question is, did you ever feel Namibia has too many hindrances?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, that underdevelopment, or I don't like to say underdevelopment, that gap, that not only the gap in the market, but the huge gap in the difference in energy.
Yeah.
it could serve as a motivator, as one of those, if you fill that gap, it gives you an edge, sort of an edge? Or did you just feel like, it's too slow here?
No, I think it's a combination of both, man. I think if you're tough enough to be able to push through, you'll definitely stand out like a sore thumb.
Which
is good. I mean, you have attention. Like, imagine trying to hustle in Joburg. Everyone's hustling, so you really have to be like something.
Something special.
Special. So I think it's a combination of both, bro. But like I said, you have to find a way to make it work here. I still think there's obviously a lot of things that we can do to pick it up here. But happy because I think I'm the type to keep pushing through. So in overall, I've definitely been noticed a lot quicker here than somewhere like Joburg. But yeah, man, I still think we can do a bit more to just like up our energy, bro.
Definitely.
To be honest.
I see that everywhere in most industries.
Yeah, facts.
It's very possible.
Facts.
Now, do you see your company as necessary in Namibia? And when I talk about necessary, I don't mean just for greasing your own pocket.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, do you think it's necessary to the growth of the country in general?
According to the government, we are an essential service.
There you go.
Essential. Honestly, 110%. Yeah. I think tech is the answer for Namibia. And I honestly, more logistics and that type of industry, I think we can be huge in logistics in Africa. Number one, we have the best roads. Number one, we have an amazing port and access to most of SADC. We can do bits. We can literally be the logistics hub of Africa properly, like in executing at a high level
with proper technology, etc., etc.
So for us at Chommie, we really think we're gonna, number one, really influence the e-commerce industry, have thousands of more people buying things online because they can get things on the same day, and we've proven that with Chommie Bites. Thousands of people bought stuff online for the first time with Chommie Bites. It didn't feel like it was online, but it is online. So, and also we're able to create a lot of jobs for a lot of people. Like we have over 40 drivers. So that's people who didn't have income before, and just by having access to technology and creating a sort of market industry, we can create a flow of currency. We kept restaurants, like during lockdown, we kept restaurants alive. So
definitely.
We saved a lot of jobs there, and with our drivers, man, these guys just being able to just come online on an app and then do deliveries and make some cash. I think that could be the answer for Africa. I think the gig economy could really, really be, because especially when I look at, I think the African market is very similar to the market in China. Certain similarities. We love to trade. We have a lot of people. Most of the people stay in like rural sort of format areas. So when you insert technology into there, you can really have like a high flowing gig economy. Definitely.
People are
just getting gigs for a lot of different stuff. So that's what we're trying to fuel,
Okay.
I don't think there's any reason why these guys decide the road, if they get a smartphone or whatever and get a bike or whatever,
they could
e-bike, they can do deliveries
into the gig economy real fast.
I genuinely think that could be an answer. Really
for a lot of the social issues in Africa. I mean, technology is a lot of people say technology is the difference between, when you see the gap in equality, technology is the big difference between it. Most of the people that got an edge ahead had access to technology. Probably at a very young age. But anyways, I digress.
Do digress.
All the time. Now, obviously you're very active on social media. How do you use your personal social media for your business? Because I know obviously you have a page for yourself and a page for your company. But obviously having a bigger following on your own page, you kind of have to cross-market the things into a big tree of marketing. Branches and
nothing really intentional. I think I just happen to be like the face of Chommie. Because it's my company and I push it forward. So whenever I'm working or whatever, I put it on my personal page. But I think, nothing intentional. Like I don't intentionally post about try to boost Chommie Bites through my personal platforms. I think it's because it's a big part of my world, so that's what you see. I think my story sort of validates Chommie Bites. You get what I'm trying to say? CJ owns Chommie Bites, so okay, makes I know sense, CJ, so that they probably legit. We just reached 5,000 followers on Chommie Bites.
if we had those, there we go.
DJ. I think it helps. Definitely having a personal brand helps because your personal brand walks into the room before you do.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
So I think it was just like a good introduction for people to understand what Chommie Bites was. But like I'm not like hacking people with my Instagram.
You're not
spamming people.
Link in bio.
Follow.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Kool-Aid. So do you think your business could survive without social media?
No.
Not at all.
I don't think so. Not because the way we built it, because we built it with absolutely no money.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No funding, nothing.
Yeah.
Bootstrap the whole thing.
Couple dollars from the pocket.
Yeah, that's it. So everything that we've built come from our profits alone, or just straight like hustle of putting agreements together, like partnerships or whatever.
Yeah.
So our sole strategy on what we've only spent on right now is social media marketing. So social media is a big part of it, and I think it helped us with our social currency, our social validation, and say that we're real, whatever. So, I don't think it would have existed today if there was no social media.
Word.
All
right. Now this is it's still a social media question, but it's kind of off the company side.
Yeah.
This is just general. Do you think that people are using social media for the right reason? Because Barack Obama said it's one of the most powerful tools available to the generation now.
Yeah.
But do you think, let's give people, let's say from 30, age 18 up to 30.
Yeah.
Do you think these people are using social media in its most productive form, or do you think people are using it just kind of just goofing off?
Yeah, no, I don't think people are using it.
The majority.
Yeah, majority aren't. I think if you created as much content as you consumed, a lot of people would be much better off.
Ooh, if you created as much as you consumed.
That's it. And that's what I keep trying to get myself to do. I don't do it yet, but like I find myself consuming so much content. And if you can literally just create nearly as much as content as you can, every time you see something where you feel like, you have those moments you're scrolling social media, you're like, okay, I've been here for too long.
Yeah.
In those moments, you create a piece of content and put it out there. You'll have so much content out there, and that's going to do more for you. So I'm trying to structure my life in a way where I'm producing more content than I consume. And then you will see social media work wonders for you. Could do bits for you. Consuming so much content doesn't really have that much of a benefit, because obviously how the algorithm is structured. It's structured to have you hooked. They show you stuff. They watch you and show you stuff that they know you
want to keep seeing. Yeah.
Because your attention is asset. So if you can consume less and create more, could definitely do bits for you.
Do you ever take time off social media? How often? Obviously, I'm not saying you once a week, but how often do you? Every 2 weeks?
I think I do it sporadically, but like I was recently off Instagram for like.
So it's just when you feel like you're about to throw up.
Yeah, just like
from the socials.
Less, man. I just need a break. I took a break from Instagram for a while. I didn't miss it, to be honest. I got back because the only reason I got back because I started doing a lot of stuff on Clubhouse now, and Clubhouse is almost directly linked to your Instagram. Yeah, so people go, when they're looking at discussions on Clubhouse, they click on your Instagram profile to see
what you're about.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. So it didn't help me having my Instagram link not working, so that's why I got back.
Oh, okay. But you didn't miss it.
I didn't miss it, bro. It was weird. Weird. But
I didn't miss the watches.
I mean, I still see watches, I guess. Still get emails and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't miss it, bro. But I definitely wanted to get back on when I was just creating more. Like I said, like I really wanted to focus on that. But I didn't miss it that much, though.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, how hard is it, back to social media, how hard is it, because obviously we know that the vast majority, like we covered, the vast majority of people aren't really using social media the way we should be using, we're kind of using a screwdriver to hammer stuff.
Yeah.
So how hard is it to dodge the social media kind of bullshit and just stay focused on your journey? How hard is it to not get sidetracked?
Hard. Very hard. Because the whole thing is built to do exactly that.
Yeah.
The whole thing is built to take your attention and keep you there. So it's very hard. I think you have to be like a ninja to be able to just like.
Are you a ninja?
Sometimes.
Sometimes do you qualify?
Like I said, I just try and consume try and find a way to create more content than I consume. I think if you can at least do that, then you're on the opposite end of the sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're using the sword to your advantage.
And now you have the handle instead of the blade, innit?
So that's, I guess, bro. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough question to answer as well.
Okay, now we're about to get into the deep section.
It's the deep section.
It's like two deep questions about that big in size.
Yeah.
Okay, so what has been your lowest point in your adult life? Really, in your mature life, something that something that really powerfully impacted you, and you kind of had to bear it on your. Because when you're a kid, those low points you get, kind of everyone absorbs it for you. Someone puts a band-aid on you. What was the lowest point for you in your adult life?
So I don't know what you consider adult life, but obviously the first thing that comes to mind is when my dad passed away. So my dad passed away a few days after my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
So that at least I was happy enough that I was at least like a bit grown up, like 18 is not too bad. At least I learned as much as I could,
kind of shaped most of your personality already.
Yeah, I was already sort of established, whatever. There's a lot of things, obviously, I would have liked to learn more. But yeah, I think that definitely obviously shakes your world. But yeah, I think I just grew from that, and it made me, I think, step up as well. Like,
kind of forced to now.
Kind of be like, okay, cool. Now you gotta just do what you gotta do and like chase it and be active or whatever. So I think I've definitely grown a lot from that point.
Yeah.
But as of late, I think man, being an entrepreneur is tough, bro. It's tough because, as I said, the entrepreneur part is easy for us, but
the life around it.
The life around it is tough, bro. Like last year was probably like the loneliest, hardest year that I've had. Just felt like nothing. I mean, like in terms of like socially and all that kind of stuff, didn't feel. I don't say feel valued, but what's the word I'm looking for? Nothing. Not much had meaning. When I wasn't working, it's just like sort of like, what am I doing? So I think that definitely hit a low point. There was a point where I was just like, okay, cool. I just need to fix up, But I think it's stuff you learn, and I think that's why people say being an entrepreneur is hard. Doing this is hard because around that, all that sacrifice, focusing on something solely for a year and a half, cuts out a lot of stuff in your life, and you have to be able to deal with that, But luckily, I think I'm headstrong, pushing through. It's still a bit tough, but I'm trying to find ways to structure my life so that I'm making sure that I'm getting the things that I need in as well, not just working the whole time, because obviously you'll burn out and you get whatever. So though, were tough times, bro. I
was gonna ask, what was the support system? If you had to pick either of those two events that you just described, what was the support system that helped you get through it? Or what was the one thing that helped you get through? Yeah.
I mean, definitely family and friends, for sure. I think having a strong circle of friends, super important. Especially positive friends as well. Like, I don't even think Chommie Bites would exist if I had negative friends. Because I mean, the first thing I did was take it to my homies and be like, yo, I have this idea. And they were like, do that. Do it.
Sounds cool.
Just do it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I think, friends, super important, bro. Yeah. Super important.
Friends kind of just, friends and family, I think the more you grow up, they kind of just merge into
together.
One. Like when you leave jelly babies out for a very long time.
in the sun.
Yeah, that's why friends and family just become a mesh of jelly babies. So you just
can't separate those
things. No, you can't. They even lose color.
Yeah.
So now, okay, this is one of my favorite sections. I kind of just made this section up recently. Yeah. It's called Hi, I wrote a book once.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's really short. And then I'd like to end it off with something cool. But anyways, so we go first. If you could write a book, who or what would it be about? Would it be about something or someone?
This is very interesting because I was thinking if I was to write a book, I would be about everyone that I've met. The idea would be that I would have a living record of every single person that I had at least a 5-minute conversation with, right? And ask them one thing, right? And the question I would ask them was that if you had a billboard in your hometown, right? Something, you've made it, you were successful, and you had a billboard in your hometown. What would that billboard say? It's like your billboard, right? And then they would answer that question. So then I would have, for example, I have KP in the book, and it's just like almost like a ledger, right?
Yeah.
And you had KP met at where, and then the answer to the question.
He told me his billboard would say,
whatever. So a huge list of everyone that I've had at least a 5 minute. It had to be at least a 5 minute conversation where I felt like that was cool. You know, that was someone worth noting. And I think, I don't know if I'm just rambling on, but I think that would be an amazing book because that might have been the last conversation that person ever had with someone. You never know.
Possible,
right?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it may be something. So imagine like a mom or something that never got to hear from their son in a while. And in my book, I met them and spoke to them for 5 minutes, and what they said in the billboard was like, "Can't wait to see you, mom," or "Always love your mom," or whatever, something like that. You know? I think could be something really, really interesting. I don't know how I thought about this.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I guess the next question is going to be a bit more difficult, even though it's simpler. What would the title be? Billboards.
I don't know. Maybe something like.
First thing off the top of your head that comes. It doesn't have to be what we're publishing. We'll go to publishing later.
Is it?
Yeah.
Probably something like words you never said, or something like that. Probably something around those kind of things.
And then lastly, do you think the people in the book would be happy to read it?
Yeah, I think so.
And the point would be to impact more than just the people who are actively involved in the book.
Yeah. I think it would be like a general, like a massive ledger. Because I meet quite a lot of people. So they call me the Connect, innit?
Yeah, the Connect.
So I meet a lot of people, and I think I've come across some very interesting people. And they would say some interesting stuff on that billboard. So I think it would be like interesting to just go through and see maybe like your cousin, you find your cousin, just like a big ledger of like the web of everyone that I've met. I think that would be quite interesting.
Billboards speak louder than words. Okay, so just to end it off, if you could look at that camera and say, "Hey, I'm CJ. I wrote a book once called Billboards Are Louder Than..." Okay.
What's up, guys? My name is CJ, and I wrote a book once called Billboards Speak Louder Than Words.
Bang. I like that. I like that. I feel like that's going to make a lot more sense. Okay, now it's time for Manny's favorite part, the speed round.
Okay.
So, first few questions, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. You just pick one of the 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to ask you another 3 questions. The next 3 questions are buy or pass. So, would you buy it or would you just let it pass?
Okay.
You think it's not a good investment?
Okay.
Okay, so first 3 is one or the other.
Okay.
Audemars Piguet or Rolex?
Rolex.
Okay.
For sure.
You almost said Audemars.
Nah, I wasn't gonna.
Okay. Instagram or TikTok? You had to deactivate one.
I had deactivated one? Oh, TikTok.
Okay, so Instagram is staying.
Yeah.
Okay, R&B or hip hop?
Oh, tough.
You're okay, driving
R&B.
down to Swakop 4 hours.
R&B.
R&B. Okay, cool. Those are the 3. Now we go to buy or pass. Either buy or pass or good investment or not a good investment.
Okay.
iPhone 12.
Buy.
Electric car.
Buy.
Bitcoin.
Buy.
Wow. You don't think anything? I personally feel like iPhone 12 there is a bad investment.
Why?
I would never buy one.
Why? It depends. Depends what you use it for. Like,
I'm not a photographer.
Yeah, you can create some sick content on that thing, bro.
You see, when you live in my position, like there's kind of a lot better devices to create content with.
Yeah, it's true. But I think I'd get iPhone 12 for sure. Yeah. And I'd have it for a while. I wouldn't upgrade every year. I think iPhone 12 is solid. You can have it for the next 3-4 years and you'll be Gucci.
That's how I felt about the iPhone 10.
Yeah.
Then 11 came.
Yeah, no, but you had it for your iPhone 10. You had for a while.
Yeah. Okay, now in a perfect world, right? COVID we just wake up one day and it's gone. It's completely
flew
gone.
away.
Yeah, like sorry, it's the wrong building.
Swine flu. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So in that perfect world, what are you looking forward to that weekend? Let's say COVID flew away that Monday. What's happening that weekend?
Man. going to a day party, like a beach, like massive beach day party.
Yeah.
Yo, and just like having the time of my life.
Physical contact.
Oh,
no
just
mask.
like vibes, just good energy. People again, because I'm a huge people's person and an extrovert, so I get energy from people. You know, I can't. Being alone is weird for me. I hate it. But
it makes sense why you didn't be a scientist then.
yeah. That's
because
what
them
I'm
men in the
saying.
lab,
So
yeah.
I know, like a nice beach party, just
Day
vibes,
party.
day vibes. You know, with the homies, whatever.
Yeah.
Chilling. Oh, it would be a vibe. That's really what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, let's keep hoping that happens.
Yeah.
And then lastly, any advice?
Yeah.
To specifically to entrepreneurs that are starting off.
Yeah.
And maybe somewhere in there, entrepreneurs that might be hitting that low point. Any advice to them?
I think obviously get a good support structure. The entrepreneur actions are easy, but everything else is hard.
Yeah.
So know that and be aware of that. For entrepreneurs that are starting up, get your product in the market as quickly as possible. Don't try and perfect it. Like I said, the first version of Chommie, we spent 6 months on it. Launched, no one came. Chommie Bites, we spent 3 weeks on it, launched, and then the first week we had orders already. So get your product out there quickly as possible. That's the only way you can really learn. The market does what the market does. And yeah, I guess just keep pushing. Have a reason why you do it. Have a good support structure. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Sweet. And then lastly, I always say lastly, and then
lastly.
he says that. Who do you think, off the top of your head, the next guest should be? Anyone,
probably,
even if it's like Barack Obama, just got off the phone with him.
I think it would be interesting to have someone like, can I name a few?
Can name
Just
3.
one.
Let's go 3.
Name 3.
Let's go.
I'd say have Lioness on here. She's good vibes, good energy in it. Someone I also find very interesting is Zach. I don't know you know Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of local people for some reason. Yeah. Zach. And then there's a guy called Stephen Bartlett. Stephen Bartlett is an entrepreneur from the UK. Probably like my role model, like my age, owns like a massive, like $1 million company, like 100 million, 200 million pound company. Yeah, he's just one person that I've looked up to, so it'd be sick. If you have him on the podcast, I'll definitely sit in and chat.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's the idea.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the multifaceted, multi-talented, multi-diverse, difficult to be a human being, Mr. CJ Dumeni on Sessions. And I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Stick around because we've got like 99 more episodes because, yeah, we're doing a lot. Yeah, so stick around and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Can't wait to see you next time.